What's up, and welcome to episode 36 of NCP. We got a big surprise that, everyone has been clamoring for, asking for in the comments. We have camera. Boom. Look at those. I don't even have to, I guess I still can introduce you guys, but we got the faces up on the big screen. Colin, how are you doing?
I'm good. This one is me.
Yeah.
This one. Hello.
Because everyone who listens to this podcast doesn't know exactly what the fuck we look like.
Hey, some of them I've only seen in person like once or twice.
That's true. You might look a little bit different. Ham, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Reed's home, which is pretty exciting. Got to talk a little bit about SPL right before he left. So I had some updates about his knowledge of the game.
Oh, that's big. I'm excited for the Reed Mind interview later on. My favorite weekly tradition. But we have 2 weeks of results to go through real quickly because we missed last week because the boys were dead. Um, I am still. I think today is the first day where I'm actually finally turning the corner just a little bit. This morning I still felt like crap, but this afternoon I was like, I actually am not hurting, and I might be able to stop taking meds. So that's exciting. But we nearly did a delirious pod last week. Would have been insane content in the most literal sense possible. But we're back this week and we're healthy. Um, these are not going to be in a logical order because for some reason, no matter how many times I organize it, the season 4 playlist likes to shuffle itself. But week 3, apparently, the Reed Hot Chili Strikers and Milwaukee Bucks played against each other. I'm realizing I don't remember anything about week 3. Do
I
you
don't
guys?
either. Read one in 3 games. That's all I got for you.
Reed won 5-2, 1-0, and lost 1-0, and then won 3-2.
Sure. But I do remember this being an absolutely massive result for Reed. I can't remember. I don't think he was there for this week. I think he was there on the bike for the week that he
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
But like literally, like Reed's season was starting to look like it was in jeopardy. Um, but Yoshi got a huge result. The Milwaukee Bucks were surging up until this point. This is kind of, we'll talk a little bit more about later results, but these two teams are kind of trending in opposite directions in the between like the first 2 weeks versus the second 2 weeks. But we'll get more into Reed's psychology later on. Don't worry, Hamilton. That question's coming for you. We had the uh,
The best game
the
of the week right here.
the princess matchup, MLS match of the week, double DB versus Warriors FC. Um, I always feel strange watching like a princess off or like a did princess matchup because in theory it's a good series, but it also just doesn't look good. Um, I'll just put it out to the table because you guys are both involved. Thoughts and feelings on this series.
Uh,
Thought it went well.
knowing,
I got screwed by Crystal.
I, I was gonna say, knowing how the coin flipped in the end, I feel bad wasting two dry bones stamina on this game. But I felt like it gave me the best chance to win in the Princess off. So we'll see if that changes moving forward. But
Did you go double DB in this?
I think I did. Did I not?
No, you had a Birdo out
I had
there.
Alberto. Okay, never mind. Then I feel great about how this game went. I got a point.
I was gonna say I don't remember you going double DB.
There was definitely a debate of me going double DB.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had Birdo, Monty, DB.
Koopa.
I really feel
I
like
didn't have a Monty.
this more than
I didn't have a,
anything in the past um, opens up the question about the tier gap between Peach and Daisy. Because at this point, I don't know if Colin, if it's possible for you to pull their head to head, but I feel like it's pretty dominant for Peach, and this was a pretty balanced sidekick matchup. Not that this was a
Five
resounding
two,
5-2 for Peach,
5-2 for Peach, yes. And then in
and
win percentage, let's see. Peach has a 35.9 and Daisy has a 25% win percentage. Daisy's very clearly the worst captain by win
I,
percentage by a large margin.
I'm not saying that it's easy to do what Danny did, but Danny did help Peach's numbers a lot last season.
Yes.
Um, the fact that he was winning somehow consistently with Peach was insane.
The,
Um,
the
But
freaking
Peach hasn't
the
lost a
Peach win over
series
the Peach
and
win
head to
over
head.
Bowser Jr. is one of the most insane things that we have ever seen.
yeah, I mean, Peach won against last season Bowser, Bowser Jr., and Waluigi, I think.
Well, you
Peach
said
didn't
Peach
beat
won
Bowser.
did not beat Bowser. Yeah, they're on the same team.
Peach beat Bowser in the MLS.
You lost to Peach with Bowser?
You lost the Peach with Mario. You lost
Did
the
I
Peach
lose with Mario?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Mario.
Okay.
Mario.
I felt worse about that. That actually makes me feel a lot better.
No, you did not lose the Peach with Bowser, buddy. That did not happen. You would have gotten relegated to tier 3 if that happened.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
We wouldn't have let you come back. Don't worry.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. No, but Peach beat Bowser Jr. And then I'm pretty sure she beat Diddy, and I think that's actually it. So not as crazy as you think. I could be missing one, but I'm pretty sure it was just 2. And then towards the end of the season, Peach started losing again, but it didn't matter because Danny was like so clear in a way from everyone else. And while I'm making this point about potentially Peach being in her own tier, it still was like this was the definition of a coin flip. You guys literally just played heads or tails. And I think 2 series went to overtime and were decided by Mega Strike goals because neither team could score.
Yeah.
But finishing out MLS for week 3, Frederick finally got his win against a garbage Nepo baby squad. It's been a tough year for Fred. Colin, do you have any faith that back half of the season Fred will be able to salvage this?
I mean, I think it won't be as bad as the first 2 weeks. He picks up a point here. Looking ahead to the results of week 4, obviously we know them already. He did not get a point, but he fought better than he had in the past. I mean, he's fighting to climb his way into 4th at the moment. I think as well as he can do, but he's got his work cut out for him. I don't know if he's going to make it.
I think that's something that I hadn't considered is just like the difference between like the MLS being a top 3 league versus a top 4 league, like must give you guys like a lot of peace of mind. Like Hamilton, do you feel like pretty confident about like a top 4 finish for yourself?
Not yet. I'd say like I'm only 2 games up on Nepo babies with 4 points, and it's really 1.5 games with like it's a 4-point gap.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say I'd like my odds, but I wouldn't say like I'm confident in my ability. Especially I'm throw out there. Freddie is a second half manager. He's gonna make a second half push and come out and probably make it in the top 4 with that. So that means someone's got to go down, and whether it's the Milwaukee Bucks or Red Hot Chili Strikers, if it's not me, I'll be happy about it.
So from your perspective, you have faith that Frederick's probably going to nestle into that 4th slot and someone else will fall?
I think that there is a very real world where that occurs. I think that I would favor that over some of the other. I think Freddie spends a lot of time looking at this, and both of the other teams I rattled off might not spend as much time looking at data. I can speak for the Red Hot Chili Strikers. I can't speak as much for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Gonna need more gumption in that.
I'm sorry. But I think Freddie will find a way to make it in the 4th by the end of the season.
I haven't heard anything about it, but it's also interesting. Freddie has a fair amount of trade capital for like how mid his team is. Like he has 2 solid captains that could be packaged with a Hammer Bro for something interesting. So I think, I don't necessarily have faith that Fred's current roster won't finish like in 5th or 6th, but I think he has the tools to be able to put something together. So it'll be interesting. I think the MLS is slated for a very fun finish, especially looking at how we are only four games in. To start off week 4, we had Fred Chester and Reed Hot Chili Strikers play against each other. Hamilton, do you know anything about the debauchery that happened here?
I did not actually catch it live, but I did hear about it later, and I was astonished. I'm actually also a little sad that I missed the buffed stream, if you will. Shout out to our sponsor at Buff Stream, but but no, it's I would love to go back and see, did that VOD get clipped and put up? Like, could I go watch the insane gameplay? Am I
Yeah.
watching the insane gameplay? I don't think
No,
I am.
so that's it is available in the YouTube link I sent out in Discord. So the actual game upload is clipped, but the actual VOD 100% still has that in there. But
Okay.
we did watch these two teams play about a game and a half with a fully charged ball, devastating hits and infinite items without noticing. Which shows what great minds for the game we have. But Freddie was actually kind of dominating the modded game, but in the unmodded game, Reed came out on top. I'll use now as my time to cash my Reed Pulse check card. What were Reed's vibes after this?
Reed is very big on Yoshi, which I think he did get accurately chirped for early in this season. Or was it getting chirped for not using PD? No, it was getting chirped for not using Yoshi.
using Yoshi
Yeah,
versus Bowser.
So he's figured it out, and he's high on Yoshi. And his statement before he walked out the door was that PD is not necessarily on the trade block, but he would hear an offer. He's not actively shopping PD, but if someone wanted to try and take PD off of him, he would be interested in an offer from them.
See, that's the type of shit that could save Freddie's season potentially. That's the type of stuff we're talking about. And we all know that Reed loves Luigi. He had a whole team named after him for a season. So, maybe we can play a little bit of matchmaking here. I think both Reed and Fred listen to the pod every now and then. So maybe there's something there. Reed, I would say if you're thinking about trying to save your season, I would wait at least 3 weeks until it's too late. So you got a little bit of time, but huge wins for Reed, which I don't think he necessarily deserved to be as down bad as he was. I think he played some good teams and had some tough results, but this was big for him.
I will counter with you saying he plays some good teams and has some tough results. I don't know of an easy team anymore. There's not a team that's getting picked in anywhere in strikers right now that is getting picked by a spinner wheel anymore, and therefore a quote unquote free win.
Tanya's throwing out a couple stinker lineups.
I want to argue that, but I would also say that Tanya's throwing out some stinker lineups when you don't really expect them.
Yes.
So it's not like you're like, oh, I can rest against Tanya, where like you and I both knew that we were playing Princesses week 3.
Yes. Yes.
So that all I would say is, like, I look at the MLS teams, and there's not a single team there that I'm like, if I'm playing their A lineup, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Waluigi Peach team this year.
I think that point is 100% valid. But I will also say that I think that Reed also played, like, of the difficulty, like you're saying, is like the whole like level has risen. I think of that, Reed played really difficult teams because he played your like absolute A lineup week 1, and then he played Tanya's best roster by far
Yeah.
In week 2. So I think both points still stand where that there is no free lunch, but some lunches are really freaking expensive, and you really don't stand much of a chance even with your best possible team.
That's fair.
But Hamilton, I can tell you that when we watched your series live, it was probably the biggest snooze fest in the history of strikers. Everyone was distracted. Seemed like a pretty clear cut win. What were your vibes from this series?
It was a little weird because I jumped in the Twitch stream, but I don't think I either didn't have audio or I didn't jump in the Discord, so I wasn't able to hear anybody. Um, and so it was kind of like a very lonely place at the same time. But I mean, I turned it on truthfully halfway through this game, so I was already up, and I was like, nice, vibes are high. And then I watched the second game, and I didn't even know I was down. Oof, vibes were low. But I think the second game was a pretty handed. I'd say handed, but like I don't think it was. I think it went up 2-0, and then it became 2-1 in the second game. And I so like there was concern, but there wasn't ever like, oh, it's tied, and therefore I've got to score to win, type vibes. Um, did see that I did get the A lineup from Tanya. Felt a little honored to get the A lineup from Tanya. I mean, she doesn't throw that out against just anyone apparently. So that was nice. But glad that we came out of with a win. Really stoked that we won in 2. Leaves the possibility for a 3 weeks of Bowser opportunity, which would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's big. There definitely is the highest chance after this week. 5 of the 6 results in week 4 were sweeps, so we have the highest chance of lots of. Sorry, I'm just distracted by Tiny Birdo just decking people. Lots of people actually getting the third game eligible, but I'd say overall this, from the outside too, it seemed like a very comfortable win. We're minus that one little stretch at the start of game 1 where you were down. It just kind of felt like inevitable that you were going to win. So yeah, big bounce back for you after a tough loss to the Milwaukee Bucks earlier, and then losing the coin flip. Those were 2 weeks where a lot of points were left on the table. I'm sure it was good to get back to winning ways. Speaking of winning ways, the man can't stop winning. He's so freaking back. Colin, how does it feel at the top of the MLS?
Oh, it's so much different than last season. I feel so much happier. I don't hate my team. I got my boy back. He's cooking. But we're not even relying on Wario. The sidekicks are getting involved. The whole team's flowing well. Getting unexpected contributions out of Boo. I don't know. The boys are rocking.
Hamilton, I want to play a little pop quiz about some stats.
I love pop quizzes about stats.
So, sorry, let me make sure I pull this up correctly. You want to guess what team the player with the third best plus minus in MLS plays for?
This season of MLS?
This season of MLS.
Third best plus minus.
This is sidekicks.
I'm looking at the table real quick. Tell me it's somehow Fredchester United.
It is not. It is
Okay.
it is Koopa 6 for Warriors FC. I'll give you another chance. The second best plus minus in the MLS. What team do you think they play for?
I'm gonna guess the Warriors FC.
Yes. And the number one, so that was Boo 1. The number 1 is a Hammer Bro. What team do you think he plays for? Freddie does have 2 Hammer Bros. Keep that in mind.
So I'm a counter with, if you currently look after week 4 at the MLS table, Colin is in first with a goal differential of 16. I am in second with a goal differential of 0. Reed is in third with a goal differential of 3. Reed is the only other person to have a positive goal differential. And that can be debated on if you think zero is positive or negative. But one way or another, I'm gonna guess it's Warriors FC that has this hammer, bro.
They do, and they also, that was the top 3 sidekicks that I listed out. They also have 4 and 5 as well.
It's a tie for 5 at least.
So he's 5 for 5 for plus minus being all his sidekicks. That also was the case before this week. That was the case after week 3 as well. And then if you look at impact, it's 5. Colin has the top 4 in impact. The 5th place is Jack Reed's Dry Bones, and then 6 goes right back to Colin's Dry Bones. This is truly season level dominance. Season 1 level dominance from Colin. It literally is. This is deja vu. The man's been down in the trenches for 2 seasons, and now he's back. Do you think that this is sustainable, Colin?
No, I don't. I think a level of success is sustainable. I think the level of unplug my mic. I think the level of domination is not sustainable. I think we've gotten a little lucky. We got a Tanya backup lineup. We kind of smoked Fred in one game. We had the princess off, and then it was a good win this week against Jake. But I think the boys can continue to win and put up points. I don't know if we're gonna stay on top of every league leader table, but I like what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah,
Austin, I would love, and I don't know that you're going to be able to pull these stats this fast, but how many of Colin's sidekicks that are really great in the plus minus are in Colin's lineup against Freddie?
Well, all 5 of them are top 5, and only 3 were in the lineup against Fred.
Okay, that's fair.
So probably like the
just,
top 3 are probably from that. You're 100% right.
The 6-0 against Freddie does really, in my mind, help with a plus minus.
Yeah, but he also for goal difference. Then if you even take that out, then he's still like at plus 10 in his season wide goal difference. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, you are 100% right that helps. But even independent of that, he's just had an amazing season and hasn't really lost.
Colin's he's lost twice this entire season.
I've lost 2 games.
Both of them are
with the
Both of them are 1-goal games.
One was with a princess.
Yeah, he's chasing Danny from last year.
I was gonna say, what's more impressive if Colin continues through, let's say, week 6 at this pace? Is Danny's last season through week 6 more impressive or less impressive than Colin if he continues to do this through week 6?
Wasn't Danny completely undefeated through 6?
No, Danny dropped a game in week 2.
Well, yeah, so he dropped a game, but series-wise, he was undefeated.
Series-wise, completely undefeated.
As is Colin right now.
Right.
Week 8.
Okay, so Colin's got to get to week 8.
Jesus, dude. And then I guess he lost
2 individual games.
Yeah, I guess 2 individual games through week 8.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Colin can't lose in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He plays
which would include a princess week, I think.
Reed, Tanya, Jake, Freddie. The next 4.
I'm
gonna be real, Colin. I don't think
I don't need that to happen either. Right now we're sitting nice. We've got a 4-game lead for first place. I can give up game 3s. That's fine. If we keep winning with Wario, we can drop games with Peach. It'd be cool if we get a sweep this week and we could run Wario out again. But
yeah, the man's chasing SPL. He's not necessarily chasing history, but it'd be nice. Right now, we actually have 2. Not only Colin, but also David have a higher win percentage than Danny. But Danny obviously did it across the entire season. of season 3. 74% win percentage across the entire season, and it was way better than that until week 8 and 10 when he lost with Peach twice in 3 weeks. But
Oh, and I got an issue with the schedule maker. Why am I playing you in week 10?
It was a wheel. The schedule was made before any teams are drafted.
Quick
You
look
might
at the.
you might get a princess.
What week do you guys play again?
10.
10.
That has the potential to be a crazy defining series for one and or both of you.
Yeah.
Quick look at the table though. Warriors FC on top with 12 points. Double Dry Bones in second on 8 points. Red Hot Chili Strikers in third, also on 8 points. Milwaukee Bucks hanging on to fourth place with 7. Rough couple weeks. I think either 0 or just 1 point across the last 2 weeks for Milwaukee.
1 point.
1
last
point.
2.
1 point. Not great. Nepo Babies in 5th with 4, not looking good. Fredchester United in 6th with 3. So I can't remember at the start of the season. I think when we built the tier list for MLS, I think it looked a little bit different than this.
I think we had Ham at the top.
With Reed, Ham and Reed.
With Reed, and then I was 1 tier below.
I think you and Fred maybe.
Yeah.
Fred, maybe Tanya or Jake. I don't remember.
I think it was Fred.
One interesting thing I just want to talk about before we kind of leave MLS in the table behind. Tanya is getting probably the worst output. Oh no, sorry, it's not Tanya. It's freaking. No, it is Tanya. Anyone want to try and guess what Bowser Jr.'s goals per game for Tanya is?
Oh, it's just Bowser Jr. as a whole this season.
It is Bowser Jr. as a whole, but it's actually worse for Tanya than it is for Garrett. Bowser Jr.'s goals per game is 0.4.
Wow.
That is tied with Tanya's own did, also exactly at 0.4. Daisy, Hamilton's Daisy's at 0.67.
That's Colin's Daisy.
That is my. No, that's your Daisy. I have Peach.
I thought I had.
Y'all good?
Ham gets himself confused with his brother. He gets his own characters confused.
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
anyway.
know what a Gran or an Adam is.
Yeah. Hamilton's
I
Daisy's at
definitely didn't know
0.67. Garrett's did is at 0.67.
That's why I was so confused with my lineup when we were watching the stream.
The only person below Tanya's Bowser Jr. across the whole league, with Bowser Jr. having played 2 series, is Peach. I'm just gonna say this stat out loud, but I'm pretty sure Boob has more goals per game than Bowser Jr. I'm pulling it right now. Yeah,
0.8.
Boob has double the goals per game of Bowser Jr. across the same series size. So unlike heard of new lows for Bowser Jr. for Tanya, but also stinking it up for Garrett.
While we're on the topic of booze, fun fact. I'm bringing out a weekly boo stat this season. Second best sidekick this season in plus minus is Dry Bones at +6. Boo currently sitting at +25 across the leagues.
I'm pretty sure
19 goals more scored in plus minus for Boo than the next best sidekick.
I'm also fairly certain that Boo's impact, which is a really, really good sidekick metric, I'm pretty sure across the league, Boo's impact is also really high.
2.1. The next highest is Monty at 0.5.
This is for MLS, SPL, or
That's
combined.
for both combined.
And there's 2 free agent boos in SPL right now.
Yes,
Don't
there
say
are.
that too loudly. You're gonna ruin my trick.
Boo impact in the SPL is actually higher than the Boo impact in the MLS.
Just with less memorable names. So real quick, we're not going to do a tier list. We're going to do a quick pred table. Just, mid-season check-in of where we think teams are going to end up in the MLS first. We'll get into SPL action afterwards. So this is just where we think teams are going to end after 10 weeks. Crazy to say this after the start of the season and how the auction shaked out. I think that Colin is in such a good spot at the moment that even if I don't necessarily think that, Colin has the best individual team, I do think that Colin is probably going to win the regular season MLS title. So I'm going to go Warriors FC. Hamilton, who's your number one?
I mean, you got to tip your hat to Colin. He's having a hell of a season. Put him up top.
I've been going with confidence this season, and it's been working out. I'm gonna put myself up top. There's definitely a chance another team outscores me down the stretch, but I've got a 4-point lead right now. If we just keep up a decent pace, I think we can hold on.
Yeah, as long
And
as
I've got
you're
to win over everyone except for Reed, so it'll be tough to lose a head-to-head as well in a massive goal difference lead.
Colin with Wario during the regular season this year, 4-0. Warriors in the SPL last season during the regular season, 0-5. Man, this is the Wario whisper. Number 2, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. That's terribly cropped. We have we have right now we've got Double DB and Reed Hot Chili Strikers locked on points.
Tied at 8 with the Bucks sitting at 7. Reed's got a goal difference lead, but Ham does have a head-to-head win over Reed. Jake has a head-to-head win over Reed as well. And then Jake and Ham. Jake has a head-to-head over Ham.
I think they'll probably finish out along the same lines, but I do think that Hamilton will edge it out primarily because he plays Freddie this week and Reed plays Colin. So Hamilton's had the tougher schedule and they're locked on points. Ham, who's your second place in the MLS?
I'm gonna throw in something from left field here, and I'm gonna throw Fredchester up there. I know Austin's laughing at that, but like I see a world where Fredchester United comes back, and I know he's 5 points back right now, but I think he has a great second half of the season. I think he rights the ship. I think he sneaks in there. I also think like some other teams that are up there right now are going to drop games. Like if he beats me this week, he's at 6. All of a sudden, he's only 2 points back.
I think the only scenario this happens is if Fred gets PD now and figures out PD2 and goes on an absolute tear.
Which we all know Reed needs at least 3 weeks to think about the trade. So that's not happening. Even if the offer happens tonight. You're a crazy, crazy man, Hamilton. All the way up to second. Wow.
I can understand fourth. I don't believe in second. I am gonna go Ham in 2. I think he's in a good position, but I could honestly see either of those 3 going there. Reed's got a good team. I'm just hoping for a Reed loss this week against me, and then he might have a slight hill to climb. I think Jake's in a good position with head-to-head wins over both of those teams, though.
That's true, but he doesn't get that advantage unless he closes it out in the second half of the season.
But it means he can't lose the head-to-head.
I think you actually have swayed me with that, Colin. I'm going Milwaukee.
That's what I was gonna do.
I'm going Milwaukee at 3. I think that's a really good point where he might get head-to-head over either of those teams. If I do think that it's likely that either he'll end up locked on points with. He ended up locked on points with Reed last season. They finished tied, but it was inconsequential. I'm believing in Milwaukee for 3, but I'm definitely putting Reed in 4th. Him, what's your pick here?
I'm gonna go with Reed. I think that I do hear the point of the head-to-head, but I think that he's gonna figure it out and put it together some lineups. No, I'm not going that far.
Okay.
He's got to put himself fourth so that he makes playoffs.
Chief defecation officer.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Milwaukee. Giannis MVP season. No, I think the head to head is a great point, and with how close the MLS is this season, that could be. We are grasping at straws for something that is completely inconsequential. First versus second is important. Second versus third is really important. Third versus fourth does not mean much at all.
Does not matter. Jake does have Tanya this week. Reed has me. Fred's playing him.
Doesn't? Oh, they just play each other. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I was like, they make playoffs. The difference between fourth and fifth matters a lot. Is what I was putting together.
Third versus fourth doesn't matter. Fifth versus sixth doesn't matter. Every other spot matters.
I will put myself in fourth place here.
This man has been scarred after last season. Absolutely scarred.
I mean, I know I gotta play Colin week 10, so like that's a tough matchup going into it. Like,
someone check his pants.
I'm gonna put the Chili Strikers there. I could see a world where Tanya starts submitting better lineups or Fred makes a late season push. But just at the moment, I can't bet against the current mid-table to end up with those three teams in the mid-table.
Oh, real
By
quick.
mid-table, I mean 2, 3, and 4 playoff positions.
There definitely was a better time for me to substitute this in. Freddie's Waluigi, the man that he's been so loyal to.
Terrible.
Negative 6.9 impact. That Bowser Jr. that we were harping on, negative 1.5. Freddie, please. Next season, please. No one's going to take a Waluigi trade now, but please don't go back.
If Waluigi had played enough games, he would be the worst. That'd be the worst impact ever recorded across the season. He doesn't play enough to qualify. But the previous worst is a negative 4.4 by a Dry Bones, or by a captain is a negative 4.21 by a Daisy.
I'll put Fred Chester in fifth just because. I mean, all of this changes if this so-called PD Luigi deal that we are talking about, that I don't think they're actually talking about, if this happens. I think all this shakes up. I think Reed might go up. I think Fred might go up. That might be bad news for Milwaukee. But I think with current Fred team, I can't see him getting higher than fifth.
Ridiculous. I think that this is the Milwaukee Bucks. Between the two teams I've got left, I think I like that one better.
Realizing I misspelled.
Especially with the game in hand.
Milwaukee?
We all caught it.
yeah. We all know how to spell Milwaukee.
I think Tanya has the better roster, but I don't agree with the lineups she's been putting out there. I'm gonna give 5 to late season. No, we can't all have Tanya in last. Screw you, Fred. Tanya's going into fifth. This is a personal attack against your person and character, and take it as such.
Talk about Tanya?
Fred.
He means every word of it. Yeah, no, I don't know. I could easily see these two teams being flip-flops. So that leaves Nepo Babies in 6 for me. Nepo Babies in 6 for him. Feels pretty tough. And Fred Chester and 6 for Colin. So,
I bet. What's the point spread from first to last?
Last season it was 13.
In the MLS?
In the MLS it was 16 in the SPL.
Do we think it's going to be more competitive?
I I don't know. I just
I
was
think it will be. I mean, my team could not get by a win. I don't think 16. I think is as far as it's ever going to be. Adam's team was atrocious, and Danny went on and was unreal. I'd say it's probably in the 14, 13, 14 range.
we're at 9 right now, is what I would tell you.
Yes, but I think Fred can get some points. I think I'll drop some points.
I'd go 8.
This man is
I
a
think it's going to get tighter.
true believer in all of MLS.
I think Fred outscores me down the stretch.
I mean, to be fair, in Hamilton's world where Fred climbs that high, that
Yes.
will definitely condense it because he's going to be taking points from all of the top four. Then
Yeah, everyone would need to drop.
I would like to live in Hamilton's world. This would be a very entertaining second half of the MLS if Hamilton is correct. And he is known as the Oracle for a reason. But that's a wrap on MLS coverage for weeks 3 and 4. Still got all of it's gonna be a quick pod tonight. Still got all of SPL to go through. So we time travel back to week 3 in SPL was a fever dream. This was Subtup in Rutah.
Oh God, horrendous.
I don't even remember if this was the first game, but I think this might have been the first game. This was. We had Princess and the Toads versus Princess and the leftovers for Danny. Pretty much a double rest week. But this got a little bit scary for David. Almost took he took a game loss. Almost took a series loss to Peach, looking a little bit sketch. Colin, where are your stocks for HC United?
I mean, they're winning. It's hard to have low stocks. They've built up a decent point lead as well. I mean, I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean they have the maximum point total that they could have so far, right? They literally haven't dropped a single point.
After week 3, I think Dave's goal differential was 0 at 3-0, but it hasn't been convincing. But they're getting 3 points every week, and can't hate.
One really interesting thing about David's team is we talk a lot about A and B lineups, but the reality is that most of us are kind of stuck, in some sort of A, B, C, and possibly even D rotation, where it's, not true A and B. David is the first person we've seen who actually has that capability. Because he has 4 Toads, he could run DK, Kate, and 2 Toads back-to-back weeks, run and his actual B lineup of Luigi and 3 Toads, and then instantly be able to go back. We've never seen a 4 sidekick team before, and luckily for him, he's kind of found a recipe that works. If he hadn't, he would have been so screwed. But that is a scary prospect for me, as someone who's competing against him. But Danny had to be pretty stoked about this because all that he could ask for in a Peach week is getting a point, and that happened. Next game we had Bridesmaids versus Goose Crusade, a game that had me absolutely sweating. Thought that I was about to lose to Daisy. Got very, very close to losing to Daisy, but thankfully we went straight back to piss. Subtup on top. The boys got it done. Mario's the GOAT. But I feel like Eric, if he went in telling him that he'd get a point, he probably would have been pretty excited. But he almost got 3. And I guess this was his definition of optimal Daisy, so maybe he wasn't excited about that. We finished off week 3 with the Uprising versus Come On Mr. Monty. I completely forgot about this series. This was
the Ruta
this was the Ruta series. Not to be confused with Straight Back to Ass. Rising Up to Ass is Garrett's moniker. But Garrett gets the win with the kid against, I'd consider a pretty close to A lineup for Jacob. Hamilton, I'll ask this one to you. I don't think this is a position that you've been in. Colin is one of the few people who has uniquely been in this position. If you're in Garrett's shoes, where your Bowser Jr. is 0 for 3, putting up straight garbage numbers, and your Did gets a series win against the good Yoshi team, are you thinking about your lineups a little bit differently moving forward?
I don't think I am in week 4, but at the end of week 4, if I'm not getting wins, which I'm looking at the week 4 scoreboard, I think it
go
might.
well for Garrett.
I think there's a world where you are starting to look at that. I also think that, good Lord, that counted bodies. But I also think that there's a world where you're very seriously looking at trading away your Bowser Jr. for a quote unquote lesser captain, a Waluigi, a Mario, Luigi. But I don't know that you'll get a Mario or Luigi for your poor performing Bowser Jr. right now. There's a world where you consider trading away a Peach and a better sidekick. But I don't know. Having Did and Peach as your
That's
captain.
the Adam lineup from last season.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. But I think there's a world where you might have to look at trying to trade away your Bowser Jr.
So there's
I think-
no world though where you're like, Did's my guy.
No, I don't think that's without the official. I guess maybe you trade away Bowser Jr. for the Did lineup.
He only needs a Hammer Bro.
That's
Could be hard to get, but I think a Bowser Jr. package for a lesser captain and a Hammer Bro isn't unreasonable.
Yeah.
I think Danny might be interested in something like that. He's got that, or Austin, if you wanted to move Mario, I don't know.
I
I
don't know, man. I'd listen to that.
Who has Waluigi?
Jacob,
Jacob.
So he's not going anywhere. And Luigi is on
Dave's team.
Dave.
So
He's not getting rid of Luigi. Oh, Dave was actively hating Luigi.
Yeah, but Dave doesn't
this week,
have a Hammer Bro.
He does not have a Hammer Bro.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the league has a Hammer.
I wonder
Danny,
if Eric would do
Eric
a
does.
dumb trade.
Does Eric have one?
Eric does not have a Hammer Bro.
Yeah, I have one. Danny has 2, which is the problem. That's why they're hard to find.
Yeah.
And then Jacob has the 4th,
one.
so that one's not moving.
Yeah.
So pretty much looking at me.
You are Danny, but yeah. Well, you'd have to get Peach if you're going.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And that's
don't
not
Garrett.
it.
Don't do that.
Garrett, talk to Austin.
Don't do that. Yeah, talk to me. Don't talk to Danny. That's bad. That's bad advice. Good friends don't let their friends trade for Peach.
Don't do that.
I guess. What'd you guys let me do last season, huh? Or 2 seasons ago?
Hey, that was the
Peach
draft. We
for
didn't know what was
Daisy.
going on. Yeah, you traded away Peach, right?
I think I traded. Oh, I did trade away Peach. You're right.
No, it does not matter. You guys were just playing around in the trash with each other. Week 4 of SPL, we had Goose Crusade versus Come On Mr. Monty. Think this is the only series across all
Whole week?
6 games
Yeah.
that went to 3. Jacob continues to go to game 3 and continues to lose. In week 2, was it? Waluigi got the historic win.
Hasn't been close either. He has not had a one goal. He's lost by 6. He's lost by 4, 2, and 2. Giving up 5, 4, 5, and 8 goals in game 3.
No ice from Jacob's team. But he did get the historic upset against Danny on Lava Pit, and then Eric, I think, went undefeated on the dump all last season, or it was like 5-0 or something crazy, and Jacob beat him here, so it makes zero sense.
Both times with Waluigi.
But he can't win in game 3. Colin, is Jacob shocked? Is his time in the MLS, not the MLS, is his time in the SPL coming to a close?
No. He might. He's definitely probably a favorite. He has negative odds to get relegated at this point, but he's 3 points out of 4th place. All you need to do is to get into 5th, and you have a chance to survive in the SPL. There's only one auto-relegated spot, which is 6. He's 1 point behind Garrett. He's 3 points behind Eric and Danny. You turn it around a little bit, you're 1 series away from surviving. But it doesn't look good.
I just realized that we have created a permanent niche for Jacob to sit in, where he just ends the regular season in 5th, griefs whatever 4th place team ends up in the playout game against him, and just sits in the SPL forever.
Well, he's got to get into 5th at this point.
Yeah, which should be possible. Next series for me, I'm not gonna lie, was a bit of a surprise. This DK Kate team is looking insane. Garrett threw a very good lineup of Bowser Jr., Monty, Drybones, and Koopa, and didn't even really touch it. Hamilton, I will say your loss in week 10 of last season with the Kate double bike, looking a little bit more acceptable. Because I'm pretty sure that was pretty much the same lineup, just with a Wario instead of a Bowser Jr.
8th, 3rd all-time sidekick goals per game.
Yeah, Kate across all stats is like insane. Hamilton, do you think Dave is starting to put Kate on the pedestal of GOAT sidekicks? Do you think that's valid after only a season and a half?
Number 1 strikers index. Number 1 impact. Number 3 goals per game.
I think that it would be fair to put Kate, especially last season, as a GOAT season.
Rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know that I don't know that it's fair to say they're a GOAT. It's like saying someone's the greatest of all time when they're a freshman. Like the league hasn't been around long enough to have a GOAT yet, in my mind.
I've got Mr. Monty as my sidekick GOAT.
I think by name recognition, sure, but
by aura, most goals per game all time, 3rd highest strikers index, 3rd highest impact on some teams that haven't really been that great. 4th in plus minus.
I think he's gotta get some accolades in there, which is probably the same thing I'd have to say against Kate. Yeah, Kate. Yeah. Got promoted out of the MLS. That's awesome. If Kate wins the chip this year, it's a real conversation. But right now we have a Koopa that has won 2 championships. Hard to ignore.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
I will forever be scarred by a Kate. So,
Kate. But yeah, Dave's team looking really scary. For all the things we talked about. Not super exciting other series in the SPL. Actually, no, this was actually an extremely exciting series. Sorry, it was a sweep. But 2 very close games. I feel for not for once, but I feel like Danny, whenever last season, whenever it was a close game, he would always win. Not even just close series, close games. Danny would always win. Just one goal win after one goal win. And so I'm not going to lie, it felt pretty good to finally get a little bit of that magic and take the win over him. He was in the lead going into the end of game one. And, I'm in the lead going into the end of game one. I was like, I don't remember scoring a buzzer beater. But it was a tight game one. And then in game two, Hamilton, do you know anything about what happened here?
I do not.
Let's pause the clock. 45 seconds left. We're playing on Crystal Canyon. What do you think happens?
I got a hunch that it's not going to stay at the current score.
Well, let's find out if that hunch is true. Immediately, we got Hammer Bro skill shot, which I think Colin pointed out. This was one of the rare occurrences that there were 2 Hammer Bro skill shots in one game.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe, and I think maybe even a third one attempted, but it also is on Crystal, where that's the most likely.
Yeah.
Still down by 2 with 20 seconds left. And Wario converts the fart into a Mega Strike, drops 6 in the red, gets 3, and
how elated were you when you saw the second one go in, just to get it back to a tie?
oh, dude, I was so stoked. I was not.
And then Bowser off the field.
Yeah, and then the third one dropped, and I was like, "There's no way." But this is just what I mean, where I just feel like Danny has that aura where he always wins these games. So it's nice to see him brought back down to earth. It was the first time that Danny's Bowser had lost in like 6 or 7 series since the upper bracket finals of season 2. Since then, he's won 2 championships. Bowser finally bleeds. And makes things look even better for David, unfortunately. not the side effect that I was looking for. But SPL standings.
We forgot to mention something in this past week. Ham, I'm very sad you weren't there to witness this. After a season 3 of only 19 individual scores and 1 scoregami, we had a week with 2 scoregamis set. We're now at 3 on the season. We've kind of blocked out most of the chart. There's not a whole lot of room to grow. But we hit both the Brazil and the Barca in the same week. Absolutely insane.
I will state that I was on Discord with a few of the guys later in the week, and I was looking at the scores, and I did see the Brazil and the Barca. I went, whoa, we got 2 scoregamis, which is pretty exciting. Eric then joined and did say, oh, I did Barca, Jacob. And when given the pop quiz of who played in the Barca game that is being referenced, because first he didn't know that it was a reference of a soccer game. He did get Barcelona correctly.
Nice. Good start.
The other team that he predicted that was playing was Argentina, though. So,
ooh,
not
the Messi
quite. Well, for any listeners who aren't aware, that's a Champions League reference to a Barcelona-Bayern Munich game where they finished 8-2. So, pretty exciting to see that stat pop up there.
It is so funny.
If Eric thinks that Argentina is a soccer team or if Barcelona is a country.
Yeah, I think he just went with what is a big soccer team. And, well, he put together that Barcelona was part of the name of Barca. And then went with the next biggest soccer team that he's probably heard of is Argentina, which was, the World Cup winner most recently.
It's like so crazy to me that we go 500 games. Like we crossed the 500 individual game threshold this week with no Barca, no Brazil, and we get them both in the same week. And then Hamilton, we also had something statistically now even more rare than a Barca or a Brazil. Do you know what I'm about to feast your eyes with?
Oh,
Is it
yes. Yes.
a left game sweep followed by a right game sweep?
No,
No.
you're gonna have to watch this.
Oh, my God. My guy. My guy.
A boo skill shot goal.
We got a boost skill shot goal.
If you're not on video right now, turn that shit on. You're witnessing history. Look at him go.
My guy.
Bro, and then this boo straight up just oh, where are we? Huh? Oh, was that in regulation? I'm trying to
He
find
scored. I think he scored the tying goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very end, a buzzer beater.
With like 5 seconds left, this boo just aura walks down the field, then just pops it straight in the net. That's my goat right there. But yeah, we got a Brazil, a Barca, and a boo skill shot goal, all in the same week.
Week to miss.
That's 7 impact boo right there. 7.
Yeah, absolute just history playing out on the greatest scale. SPL standings. HC United on top with 12 points. Bridesmaids in second on 9 points, right where we're supposed to be. Spread triple option in third for the first time in what feels like forever. When was the last time Danny wasn't first? Holy shit.
When he was last?
Season 1, actually?
Probably, yeah.
Because season 2, he literally led the entire season. That's crazy. All the way down to third. Goose Crusade in fourth, tied on 7. Danny and Eric tied for the first time in a long time. Uprising in fifth. And Come On Mr. Monty in sixth. Some pretty stinky goal differences down there at the bottom. Not looking super great. But we'll go over to our pred table real quick just to hammer out what we think's going to happen in the SPL. I told you guys I was going to do the other thing live. I did not do this live. So, all right. First place, pains me to say it. I still think all my points about his auction stand true. But HC United is undeniable. I do think they're going to finish. Nah, fuck it. I'm taking first place. I can't even get the words out. I'm not letting David win. But my real pick would be David, but I'm putting myself in first because I can't physically write it. Ham, what's your pick?
I'm gonna take HC United. I'm gonna make you write it. I'm sorry.
No, that's the correct pick.
I'm putting the Bridesmaids. It's only a 3-point lead. It's one game. Like, that's not insurmountable at all. Their goal, his goal difference is 7. Yours is 5. It's not like he's getting dominating wins.
Does Dave have head-to-head though?
He does have head-to-head, but Austin will just beat him.
Yeah, I mean, we've only played once. It doesn't really exist yet.
It doesn't exist yet.
And those are the 3 points that I need to make up on him. All I do is sweep, and it's easy. But I am
you just win out, and you're in first.
Now that Colin has picked me, I will silently switch my preds. Ham, who do you have in second?
I'm gonna take Bridesmaids.
Really?
Right for spot. Yes. I don't think Danny's got as strong as a team this year, which is what I think your shock is. But I think that's the correct pick.
Putting spread triple option in second.
You are, Colin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Austin changing all his picks based on other people is a little scummy here. if this was the official pred board, we'd not be having this.
I'll stand on business.
Stand on your guns.
I'll stand on business. I'm just gonna. I know I'm cursing myself, but it's fine. I'll keep David in second though. But Danny's not gonna finish in third. I don't actually believe this, but I typed it, so I got to stick with it. Ham, who's your third place?
Believe it. I don't think Danny's got as good of a season. I think Danny finishes third.
You're not taking
I
Goose
know
Crusade in third.
I'm not taking Goose Crusade third.
They're tied on
goal
points.
difference. He's got the same goal difference as Dave does.
I hear you. You are welcome to put him in third if you'd like to. For you. Goose Crusade is not touching my top three.
Colin, who's your third?
Dave. I think Dave's got enough that he's gonna stay on top, but I think he's gonna be stumbling, backing his way into the playoffs.
I'd also state that I think these top three is a very distinct tier.
I mean,
And
Eric
that's
has the same amount of points as Danny does.
I
But
didn't stutter. Um, but I think that that's a tier that is above the remaining, especially while like Gary's plagued with Bowser Jr. issues. I don't really know what Eric's doing, but I don't have a lot of faith in him to not make an interesting trade with Garrett in the middle of the season. Um, so that's kind of my thoughts. I do think that these three could move around very easily, and I think that's shown by the fact that we all have different iterations. But I do think that those three will finish in those three spots.
Which my memory could be failing me, but I'm pretty sure when we did our tier list in the preseason, we had the SPL split into two different tiers of three teams. And like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that these were the three teams that we had in the top tier. So credit.
we definitely had Dave at the
Nope.
the bids.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we had these three teams. So I think we deserve a lot of credit for predicting this. And you're right. This is a good, nice and clean here. Fourth place. I do think the Goo Crew has a good chance of breaking into the top three if a couple results go their way. But I definitely think that they are above the bottom two. Ham.
I'm gonna throw a spicy because if I don't do this, then I'm literally just picking the current standings. So I'm gonna take Uprising to take over Goose Crusade. I genuinely do think that Gary has a chance to do this. It's 2 points back. I think that Bowser Jr. has been struggling. So I think that if Bowser Jr. can start to find form, or he makes some trades and starts winning with the bid, there's a way that that gets done.
Would you consider fourth place ass Hamilton?
Yeah, it's not playoffs.
Will he rise up to ass?
Depends on how the playoff goes.
Ruta.
If he rises up to fourth place and loses the playoff, I would say that is definitely rising up to ass.
Rising up to ass. Oh, bro. He's going to rise up to fourth and then lose to Jake and get relegated. That is the definition of rising up to ass. Who's your fourth, Colin?
I'm gonna put Eric in fourth. I do think that Garrett. You can put Garrett in fifth while you're at it. He's had struggles, right? The
Rising.
The team is not doing well. He's got a negative 12 goal differential. It doesn't look good. He's playing Danny this week. Things don't look good for Garrett. I'm gonna be honest. But as it currently stands, he's two points out of the playoffs. He's not out of it. You make a good trade here or there. You find something that works. You can definitely get into fourth. You can hold on to fifth and stay into SPL with one series win at the end of the season.
I think there's a real world where Garrett gives Bowser Jr. to Eric for Petey's.
Eric's not trading Petey.
I don't think that's happening.
You say that. I just
Why? Why would?
I,
Why?
With the
Why
Bowser
would? Why
Jr.
would
Daisy,
Eric do that? What would?
um, season 1 antics.
I mean, Eric does questionable things,
What is?
but he
Yeah.
usually does questionable things in line with his personal beliefs towards a character.
What does? Yeah. What does Garrett have to entice him? Interesting.
Once he thinks he can do it with two dry bones, but
If
we've seen it
Eric
doesn't.
had a Hammer Bro, it would be really interesting to see if they'd go for like a PD Hammer Bro Bowser Bowser Jr. Drybones swap. Eric does not have.
I think, yeah. But I think that Garrett could do like a Bowser Jr. Doesn't have a Shy Guy either.
If
What
I'm
else?
Eric, I wouldn't accept that trade unless a Drybones was packaged in.
I know, but like Eric likes Shy Guys is the thought process I was going down.
Yeah.
But Garrett could go like Bowser Jr. Dry Bones for like PD and like a Montgomery.
No,
Uh,
there's room to talk there. It's definitely a bit of a different flavor than the trade. Like we're talking about Garrett trying to get the dead lineup, but that's just kind of him just trying to improve his captain. I think there's something
yeah.
there. I also think that Uprising will finish in 5th, and I do think that Mr. Monty will finish in last. I don't think that Jacob is optimizing his map picks at all. I think he just like he's running the same shit for Waluigi and Yoshi.
Yeah, and they're not the same.
And every now and then Wastelands might get flipped back and forth. I still think back to that week 1 game where he had no business losing to Dave. 0 business, and then lost on Wastelands and Sand Tomb. Ham, who's your 5-6?
I unfortunately am gonna put Mr. Monty in last. So it'll be Goose Crusade and then Mr. Monty. My conversations with the Mr. Monty manager is that he's not a big fan of the Twitch streams because he doesn't like that. He feels like he's always delayed, and I think that will turn him off from watching even more. And I think that will just allow him to continue and slide and slide and slide.
That's sad.
Yeah, uh, I do think he's paying attention, but I don't think he's paying attention enough to make changes.
Yeah, especially the right ones, which is what matters.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep this episode nice and tight with not a lot of wasted time as we cruise on towards an hour and a half.
Oh God,
Uh,
not again.
I am gonna pull you back and say that the current spread in SPL is 8 points. Do you think it is more or less in SPL than it is in MLS?
Less.
I think it's more. I think the gap between like a Bridesmaids or HC United at the top compared to a Jacob at the bottom will be pretty low.
It's starting smaller. I think Jacob can get points with his roster. I mean,
Starting
he's picking
1
up a
point
point.
smaller.
He's picking up a point every week,
Absolutely.
and I think Dave isn't gonna. I think Dave's got to drop a couple.
I think
I
it's
think the
gonna
question
be right
more-
around the same.
What a hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you go back to Preds now. Sorry.
No,
I
no,
just-
you're good. It's a good question. Yeah, I think that the spread, like and that's just my take, is that feel like the spread between the top and the bottom is pretty similar. I think the bad teams in the MLS and SPL are pretty much equally bad, and the good teams right now are performing about as well as each other. Week 5 slate of games last week in the first half of the season. From here on out, these will now be matchups that will not be replayed. So this is the final time to play against someone before. Well, the final time to play someone twice. Jake versus Tanya. Definitely preview of rivalry week, I'm assuming. two people who really don't like each other.
No, that's not rivalry week.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Matchup.
kidding.
No, but yeah.
Just a completely random matchup to have is Jake versus Tanya.
Yes.
We are truly in season 4 of SPL. Let's see. I think
Jake
Tanya.
has Mario, Birdo, Toad, guaranteed. And Tanya has pretty much anyone. Actually, does have anyone. Bit of a sweep.
Well, when you read out that Jake lineup, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
But then I think back to week 2, and that's the team that beat Bowser. And goddamn it, I love Milwaukee this time of year. I'm going Jake in 3. Ham,
I'll take Tanya in 2.
you think she's running Bowser Jr.?
I do.
Question
I think
is,
she's
what does
running-
Tanya do this week?
Yeah.
Tanya ran out what I would consider like her A lineup last week, and correct me if I'm wrong, she did not win.
Got swept.
Yeah. So I feel like she's not gonna send that back out, and I feel like she's been kind of alternating Did and Bowser Jr. I think she might go Did again. I'm gonna go Jake in 3.
Ham, you sticking with Tanya in 2?
Yeah.
Reed versus Colin.
As we get
Reed.
into this, as it currently stands, before we Ham not made Preds last week,
Correct.
like a
My
loser.
bad.
But he is currently in first place.
Haha.
I am in second. Austin is in third. It's good to see the Pod boys get up with a lead over the Sheets boys.
I'll rip first here, and I will document Reed is without Yoshi and without his dry bones. Also, we cannot see your screen. There it is. But I'm gonna take Colin in 2.
Colin in 2. I'm kind of... Well, I'm narrative pilled as always. PD revenge game?
I hate Petey. He sucks.
PD revenge game? Who does Colin have?
Everyone but a Monty.
Yeah.
So if I were Colin, it would probably be like a Wario, a Hammer Bro, a Koopa, and a Dry Bones.
I will take Colin in 3, but I will say it's going to be really funny when PD dumpsters him with a trash team.
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Colin's been confident.
I'm taking myself again. This PD is atrocious. This PD is ass. This
Way
PD
out
has
the
a
highlighter.
career negative 1.67 impact.
How many games?
21 games.
Okay.
How many games are you predding?
Nope.
Oh,
Got it.
I thought I said 3.
Put him in for 3, so that way it's actually he can actually get the guarantee if he needs it.
Fair
I'll
enough.
go first here, and I'll put Freddy down in 3.
That's my CDO.
You running Bowser this week, Ham?
Wouldn't you like to know? I'm not giving out any tips. Fred listens to the podcast.
I feel like he's got to run
I'll tell
Bowser
you-
because she's got to try and squeak out. Oh,
You gotta try to squeak out of it.
Good friends. I'll tell you that I'm not gonna run Big Hit Birdo out.
Erdo's not gonna be out there. I don't think you run Bowser double dry bones. I do think you run Bowser. I'm gonna follow Austin's lead here. Go Hammond too.
real quick, what do you think of these other Preds? We got David.
I like the game 6 pred. I like Han and Garrett in 2.
I don't even necessarily think. I think there's a good chance that Freddie gets a game, but I also love the fact that Freddie hasn't played a game 3 yet, and he's just farming fit. It's So regardless of who I picked there, it was going to be done in 2, just because that I got to keep that going.
Jacob's played the max game as Freddie's played the minimum. What would happen if they played each other?
Bedlam.
We'll play 2.5 games.
Dave versus Eric. So this is Dave's. You know,
Dave's
it's
down
it's
two toads.
Donkey.
He has to run Kate.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Donkey
wild
Toad,
mismanagement to have gotten yourself in a situation where you don't have 3 toads available.
But I mean, I think that's his best case scenario. He just runs Donkey and Kate together with 2 toads. If he does that for the rest
Yeah,
of the season,
I just think in
he's
general
trouble.
he should not that
Dave's running.
necessarily everyone's paying as much attention. Eric known to not even look at who his opponent is when he submits a
Yeah.
lineup. But if I was Dave, I would always make sure I had at least the best I could have 3 toads available just to so you don't know if Kate's coming, but it doesn't really change that much.
I'm actually going to go Eric in 3 here. This is Eric's A lineup with the only stipulation that it's Reginald instead of Saquondo. And Eric has a tendency to always lose the big game. And, you know, I just want it for him. That's really what's coming here. Is I want Eric to finally win the big game. Him.
I think HC Ned goes undefeated. Give me them, and we'll go 3.
I think Eric in 3.
God, dude, David's gonna fucking feed off that. I will
Well, he
say
can't do anything.
the one interesting thing is that I think he plays Danny in week 6, and so if he runs Donkey out here, he risks having to run a B lineup against Danny, and if Danny sweeps, then Danny will have Bowser available in week 6. So David's kind of in a semi-interesting spot because they both swept last week.
Yeah.
Me versus Jacob.
I'd say just go ahead and get a highlighter, unless you're going to defecate.
I'll let you guys go first. You're taking me.
I'm taking you in 2.
Colin.
I mean, Jacob has his A-Rod. Well, he doesn't have a hammer, bro. I mean, Yoshi's always dangerous. Yoshi has been egging and mega striking at insane rates. Not really scoring the mega strikes. But Jacob's map picks have been suspect. I know Austin. Well, I also know Austin submitted a roster, but I'm not going to look at what he's done. But I know you did your research. I'm going to take you in 3.
I've never lost a series to Jacob. Probably doesn't start now, but this doesn't feel right for me. But I'll take myself in 3.
8-1 all time. You've dropped 1 game in 6 series.
Yeah, hasn't been the best matchup for Jacob in the past.
One of the most dominant performances.
His 1 win did come when we played most recently. So, trending positively. Danny versus Garrett. Danny has Bowser available. Garrett still has Bowser Jr., but no Monty. Damn, this looks dire for Garrett. And I think
Garrett needs it, but I don't know that he can get it.
Yeah, I don't think this is
Jr.
the right.
is a negative 3.6 impact.
I don't know if this is, unfortunately, and Danny also has gotten 1 point from the possible 6 over the past 2 weeks. So I feel like he's due for a bounce back, but I will give Garrett a game. Say we're going to 3.
If you're Garrett here, and you're looking at Danny most likely running a Bowser lineup, and you're knowing that Bowser Jr. is having some struggles, do you run Did?
The tough thing is it just doesn't really get easier. He plays me next week.
But my logic is you might catch someone like on a week 3, on an off week in terms of stamina. If you go an off week in terms of stamina, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy has beaten Bowser before.
It's worth considering. I do think Danny wins this. I'm gonna say that Garrett considers that option and gets swept, which is the best case scenario if you're running the bid and not going to win. I guess maybe not because you don't get a point, but stamina wise, you get to keep a lot of your sidekicks fresh. That was my thought process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Dan. Um, he doesn't have Coop available. I'll give Garrett a game to make my predictions the exact same as Austin's for the whole week.
Yeah, we were pretty synced up in terms of standing spreads too. Real quick, I forgot about the counter pod boys.
It's just Fred.
No, only Fred this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jake in 3, Reed in 2, Ham in 2. Wait,
You said Reed in 3.
Jake in Reed in 2.
3.
Reed in 2.
Reed in
What a
2.
crazy
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, he made these week 1.
Yeah, I know.
Ham in 2, Eric in 3, Jaco in 3, Danny in 3. He's countered both of our guarantees, both of our sweeps.
Yeah, except
Well,
the
Danny's
Danny
not.
one I just haven't highlighted yet.
Oh,
But mostly in sync. I feel like this is the most guarantees we've had in a little while.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the beginning of the Preds, I was like, dang, we're not guaranteeing a lot, and that's kind of my fault. But um,
I don't think me
I
versus Reed should be a guarantee. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't think that deserves to be a guarantee. Reed is running PD out there uh, with a decent roster. I
are you
made
not running
one.
Wario?
I made one questionable roster decision. I am running Wario. I'll let that leak. I made one questionable roster decision based on performance instead of how I against what my original plan was based on a player's performance. But
You're starting to boo.
Basically, a
Reed's not.
certain character hit a skill shot last week that really kind of, made me feel some type of way.
the kid's been cooking.
I mean, if you look, that boost stats are actually insane. I think it's one of the greatest impact seasons we've ever seen across 4 games. But
Yeah, I mean it's 4 games, but
yeah, greatest
still.
season of all time across 4 games.
Gotta farm all stars. Need some more appearances in there.
Yeah, which is coming up strangely soon. What do we usually do? All stars after week 7?
7 or 8, I think.
Mm-hmm. I
already have
wouldn't mind it being like a week later than last year.
Yeah,
I feel like last year was like 1 week early.
I think if we did after
We could
week 8,
also we could start it later, but end the voting at the same time. Because I think it was
Make our-
open for like 2 or
yeah.
3 weeks.
Mhm.
make our announce the nominees after week 8. Have
Yeah.
voting available until the end of the season and announce it right at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I've also updated the All-Star page, so it's cooler now where for each position you guys don't have Austin might have this somewhere, but it only shows the player's stats at that position.
Is this the awards page or is this something different?
It's a different
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
I think Colin's out here cheating. I think we should kick him out of the league.
I got last season.
He figures, all I'm saying, he figures out how to hack the game. All of a sudden, man starts popping off.
I'm not controlling the stream.
is exactly what someone who's controlling the stream would say. But yeah, that's a wrap on episode 36. Thank you to anyone tuning in. And we will be in person with Colin, which is an absolute rarity. Stoked about that. Which I also haven't been in person for SPL, I think, since season 1.
Yeah.
Which will be fun, and we have the potential. I don't know if we'll actually do it. Potential for an in-person NCP, but we'll definitely be doing SPL in person. So that'll be fun. That'll be on Saturday. And see y'all then. Peace.